Naše země se historicky řadí mezi 3 nejúspěšnější státy v dějinách ledního hokeje. Stali jsme se celkem 6krát mistry světa, stali jsme se olympijskými vítězi, dali jsme si tu nejlepšího golmana historie a nejlepšího Evropana. A nyní jsme na další smělé cestě k výšinám. A já se vás ptám, Česko, jste připraveni?
Vyhrajem! Češi! Češi! Češi!
Ahoj! 3-1!
Číslo 95, Daniel Voženílek. A číslo 96, David Tomášek. Trenér národního týmu je pan Radim Rulík. Jeho asistenti Marek Židlický a Tomáš Plekanec.
Boys.
Goalkeepers, number 39, Alex Nedeljkovic. Number 79, Charlie Lindgren. First line, number 4, Zach Jones. Number 8, Zach Berensky. Number 12, Matt Boldy. Number 13, Johnny Goldrow. And number 20, Second line, number 43, Luke Hughes. Number 85, James Anderson. Number 7, Brady Tkachuk. Number 22, Cole Caulfield. And number 57, Shane Pinto. Third line, number 46, Jeff Petrie. Number 72, Alex Vlasic. Number 9, Trevor Seagrass. Number 26, Kevin Hayes. And number 86, Joe Farabee. Fourth line, number 5, Michael Kesslery. Number 11, Luke Kernan. Number 23, Michael Osimhen. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Team United States! Dámy a pánové, přivítejte v naší aréně tým Česka!
Welcome back to Prague, and a boiling cauldron here tonight. Two teams in red, white, and blue, but there's no question who this crowd is cheering for. The host team, Czechia, comes in with a record of 5-0-2, taking on the United States at 5-1-1. The officials for this game, referees Tobias Bjork of Sweden, Michael Campbell of Canada. The lines worked by Terence Wajonzik of Canada, Emil Yelatanen of Sweden. John Hines, second time as the head coach of the U.S. men's national team, spent 6 years with their U.S. national team development program. He's in his 9th year as a National Hockey League head coach, coached Minnesota this year for the first time. Radim Rulik, fingerprints are all over Czech national teams. He's coached their national junior program the last few years. Pierce here as the head coach at the World Championship. There is immense pressure on the home team. They haven't won a medal on home ice in this tournament since they won a bronze back in 1992. But they got the late additions of Martin Necas, Pavel Zacha, David Pastrnak, a very different team now than they were at the start of the tournament. And for the United States, a 5-1-1 record, closing out with 4 consecutive wins after an opening loss to Sweden. They also lost in overtime to Slovakia. Johnny Gaudreau, the all-time leader in points for the U.S. at the World Championship. And notable for the U.S., Charlie Lindgren came late for the U.S. They're the first team in the history of this tournament to use 4 different goaltenders. Lindgren played their last game of the round robin against Latvia, allowed 3 goals on 30 shots and a 6-3 win. And Lukas Dostal makes his 6th appearance for the Czechs. He's 3-1-1 with a .906 save percentage. The U.S. has maybe more firepower than we've ever seen in recent years in this tournament. And the U.S., the home team in this game, will have the last change. They've split the last 10 meetings right down the middle, 5 wins each. The U.S. won the quarterfinal 3-0 last year. And the U.S. players couldn't wait to experience this Prague crowd. Brock Nelson plays it back down. Luke Cunningham with a chance, Johnny Gaudreau with a chance. That's turned away by Dostal. Pavel Zacha up for David Pastrnak. Andre Palat feeds it back across. That's broken up by Matt Boldy, the tournament point leader. Up for Zach Werenski, who slides out across, and a long shot by Nelson is stopped by Dostal.
Americans come to this game flying high, the highest scoring team in the tournament, averaging more than 5 goals per game. And they want to experience this atmosphere. Well, careful what you wish for, because it is a scene, energy, the emotion.
I can't see an empty seat. In fact, there are people standing in the aisles everywhere you look.
Thank you for your call.
Shane Pinto for the face-off against David Kemp. And the message was received loud and clear by young American players from USA Olympic General Manager Bill Guerin, who said, if you're in the mix for a spot, you better go to the World Championship. Dostal off the face-off gloves that. And the call was answered by a large number of American players. Some of their best young talent is here tonight.
Boldy, Kachuk, Caulfield, Luke Hughes, Sanderson, Zach Werenski. All guys are trying to show that they are worthy of best on best.
14 of the 22 players are products of the U.S. National Team Development Program. Now Brady Kachuk pulls that free. Kachuk with 7 goals in 7 games. He's number 2 in goals, number 2 in face-off percentage, number 2 in points in the tournament. Played back to center ice. Kachuk chips out ahead, trying to find Cole Caulfield. And that's gloved down by Pinto, winding in. And then on Michael Kempney, and now Pinto trying to dig that free. Kachuk sends it back across. That's picked up by Jan Ruta. Up into Martin Necas of the Carolina Hurricanes, who joined them after he got knocked out by the New York Rangers. Libor Hayek drops that back to Roman Chervenka. Remember the last Czech team to win a gold medal in 2010 at the World Championship. Chervenka winds in. Roman Chervenka drops it off for Lukas Sedlak. And with the arrival of those 3 NHL players like Sedlak have bumped down the lineup. Hayek shoots and got through, kicked out by Lindgren. Trevor Zegras back on it. And moved up by Andre Kasha. Kasha brings it back around. It's scooped up behind the goal and moved ahead by Jeff Petrie. Picked up at center ice. Hayek plays it back in. Alex Vlasic goes back to pick it up for Team USA. Up for Farabee. Joel Farabee looks ahead for Kevin Hayes. He knocks it down behind the goal. Hayes with a long reach tries to knock that loose. Hayes playing in his 3rd World Championship for Team USA. His last was in 2017. Baranek winds in. Taken down by Asamoah. And now Werenski, lead pass that missed Brindley. It'll be an icing call against Team USA.
And David Pastrnak has been the star attraction the last few days as he decided to come over with Pavel Zacha after the Bruins lost in Game 7. Second round. And they've gone with the all-NHL line. So they played with Cervenka, who he lit it up a few years ago with, but now he's playing with Zacha in the middle, and they've given him Andre Palat as the other winger. Find some more balance in their lineup.
Face off, won by Cunnin, and Seth Jones banks it back across. Jones, a three-time gold medalist for the U.S., twice at the under-18s and once at the World Junior Championship in 2013. 11 of these American players have won World Junior gold. The U.S. has won 5 gold medals the last 15 years at the World Junior Championship. Johnny Gaudreau back with it. Tied up behind the goal, moved up by Radko Gudas. Gudas pivots back, being chased by Gaudreau. Palat with it, that bounced away from him, and Jones is back to pick it up. Gaudreau, rink wide pass to Nelson, shoots, he fired that high. And it skipped off the glass, out of play. Brock Nelson from U.S. hockey royalty. His uncle Dave Christian won a gold medal with Team USA in 1980 at the Olympics. His grandfather's great uncle won gold in 1960 as well.
Nelson's got to grab a gold here to continue the family tradition as Matt Boldy. The best part about Boldy and Tkachuk being 1-2 is they don't play on the same line.
Right.
And that's how deep the scoring is for the U.S.
And Tkachuk excellent on draws up against Camp, who's also pretty solid in that department himself.
Mostly takes him only on his strong left side.
Up to center ice, Hughes plays out ahead and swept back down by Pinto. Postal up for Camp. And David Camp winds in for Natchez. Try to center it, blocked by Sanderson. And Jake Sanderson quickly the other way for his Ottawa teammate. And Tkachuk skates right through Ruta.
That's what you get for trying to hip check me. Get out of here. Brady is a bulldozer. I don't call him Bam Bam. Doesn't know his own strength.
And here's Luke Hughes back with it. Rookie of the Year finalist in the NHL this year. Along with Connor Bedard and Brock Faber for Team USA. Now played back around. Centered by Farabee. That shot by Hayes rolls wide. Sent back in front. Farabee couldn't get a shot away. And Farabee taps it back. So underway at this hour, Sweden and Finland. The last quarterfinals of the day. And the news there was that Finland's captain, Cal Granlund, suspended a game for a late cross-check against Switzerland. So he'll miss that quarterfinal matchup. Vlasic back to center ice. That's knocked down by Stransky, but the puck went into the Czech bench and play is called.
In this game, Czechia understands what they're up against. The Americans are a little faster, more talented, a little deeper, but what the Czechs have is this.
Yeah.
And they have to keep this engaged for as long as they can.
And they feed off it. They talked about it.
How could you not? Whether it's scoring the first goal or not giving up one early.
Nelson wins that faceoff back to Jones, a long shot, and Dostal hangs on to that.
I want to see Seth Jones and Zach Werenski back together.
Yeah, former Columbus Blue Jacket teammates.
And Werenski was just coming up because Jones was a bit of his, not much older Ben, but mentor in the NHL, and Werenski has been injured too much for Columbus. When he's in the lineup, he is a very productive player.
Nelson tries to win that faceoff for Boldy. Matt Boldy digs for it. He's flattened there by Gudas. Run up by Krejcik, but it's picked up by Gaudreau. And Johnny Gaudreau quickly back the other way. Gaudreau has a look, sends it back in front. Goes down to be quick with that. It went off the skate of Zacha and almost in the net. Now Nelson on it. And Pavel Zacha back with it after that near miss. Krejcik up for Palat. The Czechs break in 4 wide. Pastrnak Has a look, sends it back in front, and Palat just missed the tip. Now Gaudreau back with it. He's got Nelson moving ahead. Nelson trying to dig that free, but Pasternak knocked it away. Now gloved down by Werenski. And Krejcik gathers it back up.
That was a close call off of Zacha's skate. Stahl did well to keep it out.
Kubalik gains the line, plays it back across for Necas with his shot. Lindgren makes the save. Charlie Lindgren saved Washington's season this year. Got them to the playoffs down the stretch. Caulfield outlets for Tkachuk, but Brady Tkachuk swings that back down to the Czech zone. Camp goes back, being harassed there by Pinto. Now Ruta back with it. Banks it back around for Kempny. And Kempny up ahead for Dominic Kubalik. Luke Hughes knocks that down, and Hughes lays that back for Jeff Petrie. Up for Hayes. Hayes shoots, and Stahl the save on that. No score here in the opening period. It's quarterfinal day at the World Hockey Championship.
You really know what we need right now, am I right? Okay, what we want is one huge, big Mexican wave, which will stop here and go in that direction, okay? Are you ready? It's 3, 2, 1, let's go! Let's go for one and only amazing Mexican wave! And it's time for another round! A pomáhání si daleka nemusí končit dalším hryzem 90 kola.
6:43 gone here in the opening period. No score between the United States and Czechia. Earlier today, Canada 6-3 over Slovakia. The Swiss beat Germany 3-1. So the second and third ranked teams are through. They reseed after the quarterfinals, so the top remaining team will play the lowest remaining team.
It's a big win for Switzerland, who struggled in the quarterfinals lately.
There's Vlasic, a shot goes off the skate, picked up by Cervenka. Lead pass for Kasha. In comes Kasha on Petrie, and Kasha back with it. Sedlak leads that back to Dragic, a long shot. That goes just high. That was deflected. And Asimo, the Tampa Bay Lightning, up for Cuttin. Luke Cuttin works in with Gavin Brindley. That long shot handled easily by Stahl.
The U.S. elect to shoot from outside often. They don't mind offensive zone faceoffs. Allows them to get the changes they want, get their top guys out there in an offensive situation. And faceoffs have a way of sort of mentally piling up on you. You always feel like you're starting your own end. You keep getting whistles down there. It's like you have an uphill battle to get down to the other end to get a chance. You'd much rather start on the fly.
Hayes on the face-off against Tomaszek. Picked up by Michael Kempny. Signed into this tournament by the Chicago Blackhawks. And then traded to Washington that year where he won a Stanley Cup with the Capitals. It turned out to be an important player for them when injuries piled up. Mate Stransky, another guy got bumped down the lineup with the arrival of Pasternak, Zacha, and Necas. Hayes chips that down at the plate as Stahl shoots it away from Farabee, and Pasternak chips at the center ice to Palat. Andre Palat back for Pasternak moving in. He's stripped there by Hayes. Farabee's got it. Looking rink wide for Boldy, who takes that pass. Matt Boldy. Holds, waits for teammates to arrive, and spins back along the board. Boldy lines that back to Gaudreau. And played back down to Nelson. Brock Nelson spins it back down. Gaudreau takes a whack. Gaudreau works it free, sends that back for Nelson. And Nelson taps it back for Jones with a wrist shot that goes wide on the other side of Palat. He had Pasternak streaking ahead. Pasternak takes that pass. One-on-one with Jones, and a quick shot. Glove by Charlie Lindgren. And always dangerous David Pasternak lurking.
That's all it takes. One chance, one leaked out forecheck, and Palat puts it out there for him. The referee does a good job getting out of the way, and Seth Jones doesn't want to close too much because he loves going through his legs, so he hangs the middle of the ice. And Charlie Lindgren, a little mustard on that glove save. As he played just one game. It's tough to fly over here, get one game in, and now you're in the knockout stage.
Well, he was with the U.S. at the 2018 World Championship, did not play in that tournament. Face-off wasn't done fairly, but the U.S., the first team ever to use 4 different goaltenders in a World Championship. They modified the rules a few years ago to allow you to replace an injured goaltender.
So Alex Line was over here. He was injured in the middle of the game. He left the game, left the tournament, went back to the U.S.
Krejcik for Kubalik. That's knocked away by Hughes. And Luke Hughes barrels it across the line for Cole Caulfield. Walks in, Caulfield shoots the foul save. Rebound loose in front. Flipped high by Tkachuk. Caulfield back on it. Rolling puck. He's bumped there by Kondratek, whose stick sheared in half. Lead pass down to Natchez. Martin Natchez drops for Kubalik. Dominic Kubalik in, shoots. And the save made by Lindgren. Tkachuk knocked down by Gudas. And Hayek back to pick it up. Roman Chervenka drops it back to Radko Gudas. He pounds that down on Lindgren, who shovels it across to Vlasic. Swept away by Dostal. Bumped ahead by Sedlak. Now moved back by Asimov to Vlasic. Here is Petrie. Where's the number 46? His dad won as a World Series winning pitcher with the Detroit Tigers. And like his dad, he chews up minutes and innings. Now brought in by Kasha with a shot. Lindgren the save on him. Tomaszek plays that back for Ruta. That's picked off by Hayes. Kevin Hayes plays it back across for Zegras. That's knocked down by Ruta for Kempny. Jan Ruta. It's chipped ahead. Baranek walks in. Baranek around that discarded stick. Centers it. No one there. But Krejcik holds the line for Czechia. He lost the puck for a moment. Zegras is almost off to the races. But Krejcik kept it alive. Down to Stransky. In the corner for Zacha. Pavel Zacha feeds it back. Baranek's shot was blocked. In comes Spacek, a drive. Lindgren makes the stop as David Spacek stepped into that. .9:54 to go. They're fighting tooth and nail here in Prague.
Notino brings you the official makeup look. We give you the face. Try it with us also with our virtual mirror. Witness the passion, the skill, and the legendary lips. With a great smile, be it lipstick or your cheery face. Choose your colors as you like. And now it's time to step into our virtual mirror. Dobry wieczór! Nazdrowie! Albo świetny! Dobry wieczór! Dobry wieczór! Step in the virtual mirror, Navina, and find your look yourself. Navina, beauty that scores. What's the name? Don't worry. Navina also brings burdens for you. Navina Hockey, Navina. Do it with me. Yeah.
Back here in Prague. Shots are 8-6 in favor of Czechia. No score here in the first period.
Czechia's done a good job working their way into the game. And they're going to spend some time on their own end, but they've already shown a propensity to leak out. They want one guy to maybe slide out of the zone.
Right.
If there is a turnover, sling it around the boards and challenge guys one-on-one, look for trailers, something the Americans will have to be aware of. It's weird in these two cities, it's almost like two different tournaments. You're not familiar at all, haven't seen them, don't know much about the opposition.
Here's Krejcik back with it. Krejcik leads the Czechs with their defense with 20.5 minutes played. And the bouncing puck moves back down to the Czech zone. They didn't ease Pasternak in. He played almost 22 minutes in his first game against Canada. In comes Pasternak with it. Throws that back for Palat. Picked up by Jones. Back at the point, Kempny. In for Zacha, shoots, that goes high. At the point is Krejcik. Back down to Palat. And Palat holds the line. Andre Palat centers and it goes off. Pasternak back in the corner. Now the centering pass bounces back down to the Czech zone, and Jan Ruda's back to pick it up. Two-time Stanley Cup winner with Tampa. Ruda now with San Jose, drops it back to Kempner. Lead pass now for Necas. Moves around, Tkachuk centers it, just missing the stick of Camp for that pass. Kubalik back at the point, Kempner a shot that goes wide. Here's Tkachuk back with it. And got it back up by Jake Sanderson. Jeff played 3 World Championships, won gold with Canada twice in '94 and '97. In comes Cam, tries to drop that back. This is the 30th anniversary of that gold medal win by the Canadians in '94 that ended a 33-year drought at the World Championship. Canada did not send teams to a number of championships in the 1970s to protest the fact that Russians, Czechs, and others were using what they termed to be professionals.
The U.S. would like to break a similar gold drought.
So, officially the United States has 1 gold medal in this tournament back in 1933. The IIHF used to count Olympics as world championships because there was no world championship in an Olympic year. So in 1960 and 1980, the U.S. won Olympic gold medals. We've got them at 1.
In 1933.
Yes. Sedlak fires that down, goes wide of the goal out the other side for Vlasic.
91 years ago. They're due. They've been really good at it the last few years too, just haven't quite.
They can't convert in the semis has been their issue. They've won 4 bronze medals the last 10 years. Cervenka lost the bronze medal game in overtime to Latvia last year. Kasha feeds that back down to Sedlak. Lucas Sedlak. Back for Gudas. Wrist that wide of the goal. Lindgren pokes that away. Kasha was taken down. Cal calling for a penalty on Petrie, but now Sedlak back to pick it up. Oh, a scramble in front of the Czech bench there. As Gudas plays it ahead for Baranek. Baranek fires, he put that wide. Now Baranek back around trying to find Stransky. Zegras fan in the clearing attempt. The shot put wide by Stransky. Spacek back again to Stransky. Feeds it back in the corner. Tomaszek winds it and shoots. That went wide. And Stransky trying to pull a stick free. Couldn't get there in time. As Lindgren gloved that.
As always, need to be mindful to not be the only player getting plucked out of a scrum. Trevor Zegras gets a talking to from Michael Campbell, Canadian official.
Inside 7 to go, still no score in a scrum. You got to think the longer the Finns keep that scoreless, the happier they'll be.
Yeah, although all reports say Sweden's a pretty patient team of their own.
Right.
So that could be a low-scoring game.
Zaka lost that face-off to Nelson. And Werenski throws that to center ice, chipped in by Boldy. Gold medalist with Team USA in the 21 World Junior in Alberta. That long point shot by Werenski is blocked. 4 members of that 2021 team are here for Team USA as Nelson chips that down. The US and Canada have the 2 youngest teams here. The US has 4 teenagers. And now a chance for Pasternak busting in. In comes David Pasternak! Put it wide! Kind of flipped off his stick at the last moment. Now played back for Palat, sends it back in front. And Pasternak knocked off stride by Boldy. The puck played back out. Kempney up at the Pasternak. Every time someone goes down, the fans are whistling. Here's Jones. Up ahead to Hayes. Hayes forced back by Camp. Now moved back ahead, but the play's offside at the Czech blue line. 5:48 to go here in a scoreless opening period.
You are such a great fans, so you deserve some rewards. So, rewards, official merchandise, this official t-shirt. Some of you, maybe you, we will see. Let's get fire! si vyslouží oficiální meč. Ještě máme čím střílet. Hey, what do you want to do? Oh, cool! We'll shoot one of our vessels into the space! Woo!
Back here in Prague, United States and Czechia. They met in the bronze medal game 2 years ago. It was wild. Czechs won 8-4.
That was a crazy game.
.5:45 to go in the third period. It's knocked ahead by Tkachuk and picked up by Kondratek. Almost Kondratek. Got a couple years in the NHL with the Washington Capitals. Now Sanderson goes back for it. Jake Sanderson bumped along the boards, moved that ahead to Pinto. He was tied up. Kubalik with it. They're up and hopping here in Prague. Kempny. Long shot floats wide. Kondratek steps up and Tkachuk steps into him. Hughes. Pass is picked off by Kubalik. Hughes. Up for Tkachuk. Two Czechs collided trying to hit him, and now Necas fell. Sedlak brings it back. Drops it back to Necas. Necas winds right in, spins back. Drops that back. Hayek is shot. He pounded that wide.
Not missed by much. He got all of that one-timer.
Now Hayek back with it.
Ouch. That caught Petrie up high.
And Petrie checking to make sure everything's all right there as his clearing attempt goes back to center. And on the stick of Trevor Zegras. In comes Zegras pivoting back. Hayes around to Farabee, sends it back in front. Just missed Zegras with that pass. Here's Vlasic with it. Vlasic down to Zegras. And racing ahead is Jones. Seth Jones drops it back to Hayes. Loose behind the Czech net. Off the bench comes Werenski for Team USA. Zegras kicking at it. Farabee back to Werenski. Flips that back for Farabee. As a thread that pass ahead for Hayes. The pass back across. Chopped on goal by Hayes, but Pastel corrals the bouncing puck.
David Pastrnak, the one guy he'd want on a breakaway, steals the puck from Boldy. He's in alone, and he's got Lindgren beat clean here. Lindgren bites on the pump fake, and Pasternak's got all kinds of shot space upstairs. Look at all that room. It just rolls over the top of his stick and wide. And like only Pasta can, he can smile after the fact.
13 goals in 28 games for the Czechs at the World Championship. Now playing in his fifth. 47 goals this year for the Boston Bruins, being an overtime winner in round 1, game 7. Werenski plays that back in the corner to Cunnin. Asimov has that go off his stick up and out. Now Baranek gets into Asimov's face. 3:46 to go here. Still no score.
John Hines talked to him in Minnesota. Well, he's coming over here, and here's C. Petrie. Oh my goodness, right off the palm. Right, that big blue bruising, and he goes right down the tunnel. Make sure there's nothing broken.
Off the draw, here's Werenski. Tries to thread that back in, knocked down by Krejcik. Stronsky was spilled. Here's Baranek with it. Tied up by Seth Jones in the corner. Brindley up for Asimov. He finds Cunnin with Werenski jumping in. Luke Cunnin. Crisscrossing with Werenski. Played back in for Brindley, but it's knocked down by Tomaszek. Ruta spins that back for Krejcik. Playing the World Championship for the first time since 2018. Veteran 32-year-old defenseman plays right here in this building for Sparta Prague. Gallant slips it down. Lindgren out to play with Pastrnak closing quickly. Around for Hughes. That was broken up by Pastrnak, and now the puck goes over the glass and out of play as Hughes was spilled.
Luke Hughes comes on over. Watching his brother just end the other night in Vancouver. Team USA spent the first 2 weeks over in Ostrava.
Yeah.
And they come over to Prague on Wednesday. Nice to get a change of scenery, new city.
Off the draw, Pasternak's shot. That's gloved. Tomorrow the IIHF Congress will meet and will award the 2028 World Championship to France. That'll be Paris and Lyon. So next year, Stockholm, Sweden, and Herning, Denmark. Then Zurich and Freiburg, Switzerland. Then Dusseldorf, Mannheim, Germany, and then Paris and Lyon.
Some pretty good stops along the way.
Here's Sanderson being harassed there by Pasternak. Up ahead to Gaudreau. And France will also be awarded in June, it sounds like, the 2030 Winter Olympics in Nice. The headquarters where the opening ceremony and closing ceremony will be, along with the skating and hockey events.
Oh boy. Sign me up.
Spacek sent that down, icing called against the Czechs. 2:28 to go here in the first period.
And all the players would say the same. And I think as we get into a more consistent international calendar, you know, the World Championships will serve as a real proving ground like it is this year. Without best on best outside the world, it's not had sort of that carrot there for some players, especially the North American players. It's there now.
Zaka wins that face-off away from Kachuk. Now Nature's back with it. Nature spins away from Caulfield, slides that back across to Kondratek, who plays for Trinec in the Czech Extra League, which just won its 5th consecutive Czech Extra League title. In comes Nature's with a burst of steam, a backhand shot gloved by Lindgren. He'll hang on to that as Camp was in close, and Werenski didn't like that.
Natchez is just an incredible open ice skater. He starts at his own end, does a couple spinoramas to create a little time and space, then flows nicely off the puck, attacks 1-on-3 and still gets a shot. We saw the interaction with Don Waddell this week when he was asked about Natchez's dad, mentioning his dissatisfaction with being on the first power play. And Don Waddell says, I don't worry about parents.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to Mr. Natchez for me.
Werenski fires that down for Caulfield. 2 to go here in the opening period. Still no score in Ostrava between Sweden and Finland. Those two arch rivals hooking up again. Here's Natchez with it. Spins away from Pinto, lays it ahead for Kempny. In comes Kempny with it. Walks it on Jones and shoots, and Lindgren juggled up for a moment, but hangs on as Sedlak was looking for the loose puck.
I don't really need to be reminded of it, but it's worth noting that Charlie Lindgren does catch with his right hand.
Right.
So if you're looking for rebounds, it's got to go to the left side of his body, not the right side of his body. It's just, sometimes it's instinctive. You know, you put it on the pad, you put it where the blocker is, and the blocker's where the catcher is. So you do need to be mindful of that.
Here's Hughes on it. And Sedlak spins that back down for Cervenka, who, depending on how you count it, is 5th all-time in points for the Czechs at this tournament. If you count Czechoslovakia, he falls down the list a little bit, but that's a thorny political question. Sedlak works in. Sedlak winds that back for Krejcik. Feeds it back down for Kasha. Final minute now, the opening period. Kasha spins back. Drops that back for Krejcik. Shoots, that goes wide. Comes out the other side. Kasha throws it back in front to Sedlak with that pass. And the Czechs can't hold the line. Kondratek sends it back ahead. Lindgren back to pick it up. And slides it across to Seth Jones. Remember, one of the greatest World Junior teams we've ever seen in 2013. USA won the gold medal with John Gibson in goal. Jones, Trouba. It's picked up by Nelson. Fires, he put that just wide. Gaudreau tried to center it. Still in the back of the net. Gaudreau throws that back in front. Krejcik takes it away. Gaudreau was a member of that team as well. JT Miller. Coached by Phil Housley. Baranek plays it back in for Stransky. Time winding down here in the period. Baranek's calling for it. Camacho couldn't find it. Here's Kempny. Crowd hollering for his shot. He fires. Loose in front. Stransky couldn't find it. And a lead pass, gloved down by Spacek. And Czechia and the United States go to the dressing room scoreless after one.
It's a good period for Czechia. Playing the offensive zone a lot, defended well. The Americans have to get used to the weight of Czechia defensively to open things up.
It's quarterfinal day of the 2024 World Hockey Championship.
Okay, what we want, it's one huge, big. Which will sound here and go in that direction, okay? Are you ready? It's 3.
Dobrý večer. And the legendary lips. What a great smile, be it lipstick or your cheery grace. Choose your colors as you like. And now it's time to step into our...
Of you, maybe you, we will see. Let's get fire! Tak, kdo si vyslouží?
Dámy a pánové, toto...
Alright, guys, here we go. Okay, good head. You okay? We okay, guys? Easy, fellas, easy.
check out the quarterfinals that are being played today, the decision day of the IIHF World Championship, as you can see in the afternoon, Team Canada proved that they are true contenders of the whole tournament, and they can beat Slovakia 6-3 in Australia. Team Switzerland, in a revenge from last year's quarterfinals, they had beaten Switzerland with the same score like last year, 3-1, and they are coming back to Prague for the weekend. So we will welcome Hop Schwitz once again.
Exactly, we are still waiting for the first quarterfinal go during this evening game, and hopefully we'll be here in this area.
And we saw also the Austral Arena, the score between Sweden and Finland. And Sweden are considered as the leaders. They won their group, and it's scoreless. So maybe once again, Team Finland with Jukka Jalonen's strategy, they can create some surprise. But it's only one period, 2 more at least to go. So we're waiting for the goals. And now it's time to check out the wonderful referee cam, and those pictures will amaze you.
Vágr, viděl jsem tě tam, vole, ale nevěřil jsem si na to. Tam jednou, jak to bylo, jakoby to vypadlo z pásma, já jsem to sebral a ty si jel doprostředka. No, jako dopředu, ne. Ale já jsem viděl, že všichni budou střídat. Já už jsem byl taky zavařený, jak jsem chtěl.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the arena, Team USA! Prosím, přivítejte zpět Team Česka!
David Pastrnak made his presence felt in that opening period, testing the U.S. defense led by Zach Werenski and Seth Jones. And Ryan Lindgren, the 30-year-old from Lakeville, Minnesota, faces 12 shots and stops them all.
Is it Ryan playing for the Rangers? That's brother Charlie.
Sorry, pardon me. Busy with the Rangers, that's right. Who look like Team USA with all the American players they've got in red, white, and blue. And Lucas Dostal stops all 7 shots he faces.
Weird for Charlie to play Ryan in the first round when the Rangers and the Capitals went head-to-head. Lucky for Charlie, Ryan's not much of a goal scorer, so won't have that on him.
If he ever did, though.
He'd never hear the end of it.
Teams will start this second period 5-on-5. There were no power plays in the first.
Here we go, boys. Second one. Good luck, go!
Tobias Bork gets us underway here in the second period. Andre Palat fires that back around. Werenski reaching for it. Pastrnak chips that back around. And now Palat flips that wide of the goal. Zacha trying to find it for Pastrnak, and Pastrnak has it back. David Pastrnak flips it back around for Palat to the point. He goes for Krejcik. He shoots, and Charlie Lindgren finally saw that trickle through and hangs on to it.
The more time Czechia can play in the offensive zone, even if it's along the boards, not much going on. David Pastrnak getting in on the forecheck and strumming it up. The less time the U.S. has to play up and down the ice, and that's what they want to do.
Czechs open with a shootout win over Finland. Then beat Norway. They lost a shootout to Switzerland. Beat Denmark, beat Austria, beat Great Britain. Then lost in overtime to Canada. Scored 2 late goals to tie that game. And they gave up a shorthanded overtime winner to Dylan Cousins. Just the second shorthanded OT winner in the history of this tournament. Brian Ralston had one for the U.S. in the bronze medal game back in 1996. Right back in by Caulfield. Now knocked free by Pinto. He's sent flying and trickles down to Dostal. He'll hang on to that.
Brady Tkachuk started this tournament playing with Cole Caulfield and Trevor Zegras in the middle. And that lasted all of one game. And then they moved Shane Pinto to play with his teammate Brady Tkachuk and Cole Caulfield, the Montreal Canadian. The Montreal Canadian, 2 Ottawa Senators together, and they have been magic since being put together. So productive.
Tkachuk wins that faceoff back to Caulfield. A shot. Dostal makes the save. The U.S. opened with a 5-2 loss to Sweden, then beat Germany 6-1. Then the crazy game against Slovakia, down 4-1 in the third period. Scored 3 goals late to tie it up, and then lost the game in overtime. And then 4 straight wins. 5-0 against France, 4-1 against Poland, 10-1 against Kazakhstan, 6-3 against Latvia.
Seemed like the Group B was a little bit higher scoring. The top teams a little bit better than the bottom teams, perhaps.
For sure.
Well, the top scorers in the tournament were mostly based in Ostrava.
Kempney out for Cervenka, who chips that down for Sedlak. Picked up by Sanderson, who drops that back to Hughes. Cervenka spins that back for Hayek. Here's poke check there by Zegras. Now knocked down by Sedlak. Lucas Sedlak. And behind the goal, poke check there by Sanderson. Picked up by Kasha. Back at the point, and that shot by Hayek deflects wide. Picked up by Sedlak. Sedlak sent sprawling. In comes Hayek with it now. Libor Hayek. Going to play that behind the goal for Cervenka. The puck's in the back of the net, fished up by Sanderson. And gathered back up by Zegras. Ring wide he goes. Kondratek picks it up. Being flushed there by Farabee, and Farabee knocks it free. Joel Farabee back with it. Tied up there by Kondratek. And Zegras bats it back. Tomaszek. Up with Stransky. Plays that back to the American zone. Vlasic reaching for it. Now Baranek for Tomaszek. 2 good whacks at it. Charlie Lindgren down. The puck squirts free.
Baranek got about 5 cracks of that thing.
Now Farabee back with it for Team USA. Chips out ahead. And David Spacek, born in Columbus, Ohio, and his dad Yaroslav was playing there. Sent that in deep. Petrie back out there for Team USA after blocking that shooting earlier. Gets some help from Brennan. Now loose at the side of the goal. At the line, Spacek holds it. Spacek down to Pasternak. David Pasternak spins it down to Palat. Try to throw that back in front. That was blocked by Cunnin. But pinning around. Brindley was clipping the high stick. Penalty coming now to Czechia. It will be a high sticking call against the Czechs. And Pasternak wants a word with Brindley, but he's going off for a high stick.
I think he was suggesting Brindley was down on one knee. As the puck's turned over. Oh, did he get him? Definitely got him in the shoulder. As soon as the early shot ran at 1, 2, 3, 4. He just keeps whacking that puck in there. And the first penalty of the game will go to David Pasternak for a high stick on Gavin Brindley. And the power play for the U.S. 30+% on the tournament, 7 goals scored.
7 for 23. Brady Tkachuk leads the way with 3. Czechs allowed 4 goals on 19 opposition power plays. And Tkachuk on his favorite side of the ice for the faceoff. Wins that back for Gaudreau. To Werenski, the puck was in his feet. And the U.S. has to regroup. Here's Kempny back with it. Right back down to the American zone as Werenski goes back to pick it up. Werenski at the end of a Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Suburb of Detroit. Pass knocked away, back to Werenski. Winds his way in. He lost the puck to Sedlak. Sedlak almost off to the races. And Okasha on it. An aggressive penalty killing for the Czechs is paying off in the early going. Here's Boldy. Wrists that back down to the Czech zone. Werenski. Rink wide to Boldy. Fires that back in. Still waiting for our first goals in the evening quarterfinals here. Caulfield plays that back for Boldy. Matt Boldy with it. Feeds that back to Werenski. Cross he goes to Gaudreau. And Johnny Gaudreau sends it back in front. Tipped by Tkachuk. Loose puck picked up by Sedlak. And now Gaudreau back on it. Gaudreau drops it off to Boldy. Being shadowed there by Sedlak. 45 seconds to go in the American power play. Centering pass for Gaudreau. Broken up by Kasha. And he'll send it down. Werenski back to pick it up. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Brock Nelson, the New York Islanders, comes barreling in. Checked there by Palat. And the Czechs do have some old hands from the NHL killing penalties. Palat, Kasha, Kampf. Nelson works in, drops it back to Farabee. Off for Hughes. Hughes plays it across and a hard shot by Zegras. Stopped there by Dostal. His Anaheim teammate. On comes Pasternak. He was hoping the puck would be turned over as he stepped out of the box. He took his time. And now Gudas with it. Through the middle to Zacha. Up for Pasternak. Trying to chip that in. It's knocked down by Pinto. He got crunched there by Gudas and a quick chance for Cunnin. Rebound. Dostal is down. And Cunnin's second try was blocked by Krejcik. Acebo works it back for Cunnin. He lost his stick though. And now Hughes is poke checked there by Palat. Sent back down by Hughes. Krejcik waiting for it.
It would have been nice if Dostal didn't realize.
Lead pass for Sanders, or for Pasternak rather. Sanderson stepped in front of that. Now Jake Sanderson winds his way in for Tkachuk. Cunnin pulls that free. Sanderson rings it around for Zegras.
He's been out there a long time for Czechia.
Tkachuk on it. Down there by Krejcik. Picked up now by Kampf with a rolling puck. It bounces back to Pasternak. He finds Kampf. The Czechs can start a change. Kampf feeds it across to Kubalik. Dominic Kubalik, long shot, knocked away by Charlie Lindgren. And Hayes chips it back the other way. Spacek back to pick it up. Hayes back across to Farabee, being shadowed there by Kampf. Haya up for Natchez. Natchez slides that back to Spacek, a Minnesota draft pick who spent last year with Iowa of the American League. Natchez taken down there by Werenski and a penalty coming, or Zegras rather, a penalty coming. the Team USA's. Spacek in, shoots, and Charlie Lindgren makes the stop on that. But now the Czechs will get their first power play with 13:37 to go in the second.
Soutěž vám přináší Škoda, hlasujete prostřednictvím oficiální e-mail aplikace, kterou vám přináší Škoda a je na čase představit vám 2 kandidáty, 3 kandidátky. You with the official IIHF app that is brought to you by Škoda and will show you 2 options and it's up to you to decide who will be Škoda fan of the game. Okay, these are your 2 options. Who is fan of the game? Show us some rules. Come on and dance. Showing the challenge for you, USA. All right, brilliant and brave. Come on. It's all going straight. And vítězem Škoda, fanoušek zápasu se stává Česko. Jste účastní, gratulujeme.
So moments after killing off the first American power play, the Czechs get one of their own.
Zegras in the neutral zone, trying to slow down Marty Necas. Not much there. Necas goes barreling into the boards. And Czechia to the power play.
U.S. penalty killing has not allowed a goal yet. 13 for 13 on the kill. Pasternak winds that back to Spacek, across for Cervenka. Back to Spacek, a shot. Lindgren can't handle, they score! Tipped in front, and the Czechs have grabbed the lead with a power play goal. Zaka got a piece, and it's bedlam here in Prague.
Let's get it back to the point, and it's a double tip off Brock Nelson's stick, off the body of Pavel Zaka, who's feeling the effects of it, but he'll take the goal at the ribs. It's a rib shot. And it just deflects and rolls over top of Charlie Lindgren and just over the goal line. American penalty kill has been so good, so simplify shots early, get it to the net, take your chances, and a fortunate bounce gives Czechia the lead.
And now the calculus changes dramatically. Back goes Kondratek. Brings that back around for Necas. Chips that hit quickly for Cam. Through for Kubalik. That pass missed. And Jones back to pick it up. Across he goes to Werenski. Up to center ice. Bunted down by Kachuk. And Necas back with it. Necas. Lions ahead. Martin Necas. In on Jones. Dropped that back. Picked up by Kachuk. And Werenski goes back the other way. Fires it back down to the Czech zone. You can feel the building shake when they do this. Hayek. Trying to work that free. Sedlak sends it ahead for Necas. And scooped up by Isimon. Ruta. Up the line for Kashi. He was knocked down there by Petrie. And Vlasic back to pick it up. Big hit in the corner. Sedlak knocked down Vlasic. And there's Krejcik with it.
Ruda's just got Isimon.
And now Kasha through center ice. Andre Kasha with a step. Walks it in, shoots at the flex wide. Cutting back with it. Thanks the puck back around for Petrie. Tried to knock that down. Baranek in there as well. And here's Sanderson with it. Jake Sanderson. The shots favor the Czechs. 6-4 in the period. 18-11 in the game. This is the coolest day in an IIHF event, the quarterfinal day. Win, you know you're playing for a medal in a few days. Lose, you go home tomorrow. Now it's centered, a quick chance. Costal got a piece of that shot by Nelson. Here's Boldy back with it for Sanderson, winds and shoots. That's gloved by Dostal.
And Pavel Zacha, a less heralded member of the Bruins, who comes over late in the tournament and it just gets across the line. Aaron Lindgren, no chance on this double deflection. Jeff Petrie's there, but he's a foot too late. And everyone in the building saw it get across the line, and you're right. Now it feels like Czechia, the crowd, has gotten the game where they want it.
And still no score in Ostrava between Sweden and Finland. Sanderson, not the first time we've seen that from the Finns. Or the 100th.
There's that bounce off the corner.
Yep.
Zamboni entrance.
Now a centering pass for Gaudreau missed. Hughes drops it back for Sanderson. Fires the Dostal save. Rebound knocked down by Spacek. And Pastrnak has it back. Kempny up ahead for Palat, busting in on his pocket pick there by Sanderson. And Palat spun Sanderson around. And Nelson digs for it. Pastrnak knocked it free. For Zacha to Pastrnak, swept away by Hughes. David Pastrnak has a quick look. Drops that back down to Palat in front. Zacha drops it back for Palat. Zacha was fouled. Palat plays that back. Hayek shoots. And Pastrnak couldn't find that in the feet of Nelson. Sanderson back across to Hughes. And Brock Nelson belted down by Libor Hayek. Natchez. Up ahead for Kemp. In comes David Kemp on it, drops that back to Natchez, to Kemp. Here's Zegras. Trevor Zegras up for Hayes to glove that down. Shoots, that deflects wide. Farabee takes a whack at it. Drops back in the high slot. Werenski shoots. And it's gloved by Dostal, who's an emerging presence here in the Czech goal. 9:38 to go here in the second period. The Czechs lead 1-0.
Teď to bude na našich maskotech. Oni jsou supportíci a vy budete tleskat přesně v jejich rytmu. So, Bobek, let's clap your hands and we will follow you. Come on, all together.
Czechs have some veteran hands to rely on here. Sedlak, the 31-year-old. Chervenka, the 38-year-old. And Kasha, the kid in that line, is just 28. Back at the point, Jones. Looks down to Hayes, picked up by Joel Farabee. Farabee spins it back in front for Zegras. Drops it back to Farabee, walks it and shoots, and Dostal swats that away. Jones back on it, plays it back in for Zegras. Took a cross check there from Ruda. Now picked up by Hayes. Throws it back in front for Farabee, and Kasha took that away from him. Sedlak pokes it free. Good pressure here from Team USA. Now Kasha reaching for it, was almost off to the races, and now is 2-on-1 with Chervenka. In comes Kasha, feeds it across Chervenka at the goalpost. Off the inside of the pipe, and back comes Team USA the other way. Werenski with Hayes and Farabee. Back across for Farabee. The pass just missed him. What a chance for the Czechs to make it a 2-0 lead. Now batted back in front by Werenski, picked up by Chervenka. Czechs need a change as Chervenka sends that down. Kempny goes after it. Here his teammates quite a ways away. The lead pass for Tkachuk was disrupted by Gudas, and Gudas takes it away from Tkachuk. Caulfield back for Sanderson to Hughes. Around a sliding Baranek. Center for Tkachuk. He tipped that wide, then Tkachuk just threw his man down. Kempny in front. Here's Hughes. Fires again. Dostal makes the save on that. And Tomaszek bats that to center ice, but it was knocked down by Sanderson. And they'll call that offside. And now Tkachuk and Kempny are into it. Tkachuk is battling in front of the Czech goal. No stranger to that place is Brady Tkachuk, but someone's getting a penalty, maybe two. They're going to take them both.
There's a massive ongoing battle between Kempny and Tkachuk. And that was a punch in the face, not a high stick. And then Gudas comes in, and that's going to get Brady Tkachuk back up. And Brady Tkachuk in a post-game interview earlier in the tournament lamented no fighting. This was an unbelievable play from Kasha. The spinorama outlet, the speed to get going, and then the pass to Cervenka. Could have been 2-0. Cervenka right off the center of the crossbar. Kasha showing the power in the stride to set that up for Cervenka. After all that, Tkachuk and Kempny get matching minors for roughing in international hockey. Don't play 4-on-4, stays at 5-on-5, and we will play on.
8:11 to go here. Nelson wins it back to Sanderson, across to Hughes. Hughes fired that right into the American bench where backup goalie, like the Delkovich, gloved it.
See his gloves are working there, paying attention on the corner of the bench.
And the U.S. break through. In tough against the home team here as Gaudreau tried to flip that ahead, tied up by Pasternak. Gaudreau was looking for a penalty to be called there. Move back around. Picked up by Nelson, back to Boldy, feeds it for Sanderson, it skipped away from him. The Czech defender with no stick. Now Kondratek has one, but it's the wrong hand. It's a left-hand shot, that's a right-handed stick.
Don't always want the low centerman to give up the wrong-handed stick. You're down there anyways with them.
And puck at the line, knocked back to center ice. Nelson moves it back in. That looks to be offside. Kubalik up for Pasternak, and Hughes took that away from him. Luke Hughes, not the first member of his family to play for Team USA. His brothers have, and so does mom, Ellen. Mom played the Women's World Championship. Terrific player. Was kind of touching up, but it plays offside at the Czech line. 7:02 to go here in the second.
The wily veteran Roman Cervenka, he's off to the races. He opens up, he wants it, he gets it. Sometimes you do everything right, you don't score. He puts the puck upstairs, hard, heavy, right where he wants it, just off the bar and out for Cervenka, who's having just another fantastic offensive tournament. 11 points now. We haven't finished 8 games.
Led the tournament points in 2022. Was named the top forward. Gudas up ahead for Camp, who chips that down and picked up by Petrie. Natchez races to it. Kubalik reaching for it, knocks it back for Natchez. Spins that back at the point. Krejcik a long shot in the leg. The skate of Kubalik, and now moved out by Pinto for Farabee. Farabee with Caulfield, sent back across. Caulfield chopped out to the side of the goal. Played back in front, cued wide by Pinto. And a good burst there for Team USA. Knocked down again by Pinto. Feeds it back in front. Farabee the chip, and a pad save made by Dostal. Farabee a drive that's blocked by Gudas, and the puck goes back to center ice. Jones fires it back down. High off the glass, picked up by Gudas. Puts that back down in the American zone as Jones is back to pick it up. Picked up at center ice by Cervenka. Drops that back for Sedlak. Lucas Sedlak being tied up there by Jones. Looks down to Cervenka. And Kasha hustles after it. Andre Kasha spins and fires that high off the glass. Knocked down by Ruda. Back he goes for Sedlak, but he's tied up by Jones, and Farabee's got it back for Team USA. Werenski turns it over. Long shot taken there by Baranek, and it's gloved by Lindgren. 5:42 to go in the second. The Czechs lead 1-0.
Yep, what are we going to do for the next power break? In our menu are sandwiches without sugar, coffee, and all baby and more chili. It will be your ball, it's the right the same as our practicals, as our coaches. Pretty well. We're gonna be next. Don't put the dance. Absolutely. No tak asi keren paráda. A my jdeme dál, pokračujeme dál. Další krásná páč, je to posledná. A závěrečná nám do boje. Honau! A my stále končíme a pokračujeme dál. Tuto slečnu ukažte nám zombie do boje. Honau!
5:42 to go here in the second period.
One of the challenges for the Americans is that they opened their tournament with Sweden, Germany, Slovakia. Their hard games were a long time ago.
Right.
Then they played France, Poland, Kazakhstan, Latvia. Their last 4 games in the round robin. 3-4 pretty easy games. Inferior opponents. Lots of goals, lots of offense. They haven't been in a game like this in 10 days or so. And they're in the thick of it now.
And you get dropped into this cauldron in Prague with the host fans.
Well, they wanted the experience. They're getting it.
Coming for the face-off against Tomaszek. Sanderson moves that back to center ice where Kempney's back to pick it up. Kempney played here for Sparta Prague this year. Moved back down by Brindley. Stransky up ahead for Tomaszek. Winding back in. Kudratek with a shot. And Lindgren the save on that. Tomaszek was digging for the loose puck. And angles there with Jake Sanderson.
The U.S. just went through about a 2-3 minute stretch. They created quite a few chances. This one, backdoor. Cole Caulfield almost out of the air. He's got tremendous hand-eye. Now, this one's just a little bit too much to Pinto's left. You see him trying to corkscrew his body around to get it on net. Just wasn't quite able to do so, but Pinto himself, 9 points. A lot of guys in the U.S. have good stats in this tournament.
Played the 2020 World Junior Championship here in Czechia. It's an experience really unique to hockey, the way the games are here. Germany's unique in its own way, but the way the Czech fans are so engaged throughout the game. Boldy moves ahead around Palat. Fires that back down to the Czech zone as Gaudreau goes after it. Johnny Gaudreau works that back to Werenski with a shot. Dostal the save, and Zaka picks up the rebound. Andre Palat. Rick wide to Spacek jumping in. In comes David Spacek. His shot rolls wide, picked up by Palat. And Palat tied up by Boldy. Now brought back by Jones, along with Gaudreau and Werenski. Jones centers it, missed Gaudreau with that pass, and then you got forwards back defending for the U.S. as Krejcik brings it in. Feeds it across to Pasternak. In comes David Pasternak, and Brock Nelson came back on him to tie him up. That pass for Gaudreau misfires. Icing called against the U.S.
First time we've seen David Pasternak go tired. Jack Werenski tees one up here at Dostal to fight it off as it redirects down to the 5-hole, and he's able to shut it down at the last minute. That's why he was unable to control the rebound. Boldy got a piece. Tired Americans right now.
Face off. Controlled by Nelson, but the line held by Hayek for Camp. Down to Kubalik. Dominic Kubalik swings for it. Down to Natchez. Natchez walks out, has some room. And a crease violation called against Camp. Will bring the face-off outside.
That's bad timing for Czechia, and a good call, though. He backs right in there, was not helped by anyone. He's too deep into the crease.
He takes position in the crease. And as soon as you see that, they bring it outside. Some people don't like that. I think it's excellent.
You can slide through there occasionally. You just can't plant yourself. And you have to be aware.
It takes away a lot of the goalie interference issues.
Fewer have pure goal interference situations because the guy's further, he's not in there.
The United States trying to continue a remarkable run this hockey year. They've made the gold medal games in the men's and women's under 18s, the World Junior, the Women's World Championship, now trying to make it a 5-peat at the World Championship. And down 1-0 to the Czechs here late in the second period. There's Hughes with it. Up to Pinto, breaking it out. Feeds that back across to Caulfield. Cole Caulfield works it back for Tkachuk. He tried to center it. It bounces back to Sanderson. Now Hughes steps up. Back for Tkachuk, flips that back for Pinto. To Tkachuk with a shot, gloved by Dostal. Canada and the United States between them won all 5 of the top IIHF events last year, and they've won the first 4 this year.
Oh, Radko Gudas gets in there, stirs it up, and then puts his hand in the air with the "what me? I'm not doing anything" with Brady Tkachuk. It's a master of the take it to the limit and then try to step away as Brady Tkachuk shoots it. Sees Cole Caulfield take an extra cross check.
Ooh, for Bruta.
Yeah, dangerous, close to the neck. Brady Tkachuk gets in there and wishes he could, and he legitimately wishes he could do more.
Yeah.
He so wishes he was allowed to fight, but he won't because he can't.
Face off in the Czech zone. Hayes for the draw against Tamasha. Hayes chips that forward, trying to throw it back in. Dostal is down. And Baranek has the loose puck for the Czechs. Up for Tomaszek, who throws that to Stransky. And Stransky flips it back in. There is still no score in Estrada between Sweden and Finland. That play was called
very late offside.
Extremely late. The Americans are wondering why it was called when they had possession of it.
They're skating out, but everyone a little bit confused, including the officials. Fourth line recently put together. They haven't played Tomaszek, Stransky, and Baranek. They played virtually no time together in this tournament, but with the line juggling going on for Czechia, they get lumped together.
Two American players, Michael Kesselring and Ryan Leonard, dressed for this game, did not get a shift in the first period.
Not a lot of penalties, no real need in such a tight game to work in a 13th guy.
And different for North American teams to deal with these 20 skater rosters. As Zacha brings it back with Pasternak. Zacha to Pasternak. David Pasternak throws that back towards the goal, almost knocked down there by Palat. Palat's got it back now. Winds it and shoots. That was blocked by Nelson. The puck goes off the glass, up and out. 2:53 to go here in the second.
You know, Radko Gudas.
That might be interference.
Or cross check. Take your pick.
That might be roughing.
And a cross check from Brady. I mean, this is what the battlers around the front of the net do. But see, the chokehold. Yeah. Like that's legit. Brady now wants to respond, and he says, "What did I do?" I mean, you had his throat in your hand, is what you did, and no penalties on any of that sequence on either guy. That is letting the guys play more than sometimes happens.
These are veteran officials. Tobias Bork, the Swedish referee, is for an Olympic gold medal game, World Championship gold medal games, the World Junior.
Well, we're probably one more significant scrum from them saying enough. We've given you a lot of latitude here, but we're not going to give you any more. So if you're going to continue to scrum and push and punch and cross-check after the whistle, we'll just start taking pairs, and you can cool off in the penalty box.
2:45 to go here in the second period. Tkachuk for the face-off against Kemp.
Tkachuk with the power pull to the backhand.
He's one of those wingers who really win draws in the NHL. Jerome McGinley was good at draws. Teemu Selanne. Now Caulfield tries to knock that down. It's picked up by Necas. He's got Kubalik and Kampf with him. Necas up in for Kubalik. The puck's in his feet, but he couldn't find it there as Jones took it away. Now picked up by Necas. Werenski knocks it away. Pinto chops at that. Knocked down by Hayek. He was taken in hard by Tkachuk. Here's Jones, back to Werenski. Lead pass for Pinto, miss. Spacho goes back, icing called against the U.S.
This is not a good game to be looking for calls. If you're looking at the ref to help you out, you're not going to get it. Hayek gets knocked down, looking for a call, not going to get it. And
the issue the players are going to have, though,
they're going to get one eventually.
If this is the standard,
yeah.
What's it going to take to get one? We saw the
puck over the glass or a high stick.
We saw Zegers with a tripping penalty. Pasternak for high sticking. The second period over in Ostrava. Another icing call against the U.S. as Ruta and Tkachuk collide. So no score through 40 minutes there.
Lower seeded team always takes shorter windows of games.
Absolutely. Thomas Buchanitz on the left, assistant coach to Radim Rulik on the right. Buchanitz has really enjoyed working with Rulik, who is a colorful character in Czech. He does not speak English.
The scouting report from Plecky, one of my old teammates, was very different than the public persona behind the bench from Radim Rulik.
Yeah. I've spoken to him through interpreters many times. He's very entertaining.
Looks very stern on the bench.
He's old school. He's from the school they tore down to build the old school. In comes Werenski. Pivots back inside 2 to go here in the second period. The U.S. looking for the equalizer. Tkachuk banks it back down to Asimov. Throws it back in front. Dostal, the save on Tkachuk. Picked back up by Asimov. Penalty coming out of the Czechs. Sent back door. Hughes with a shot that goes wide. And Sanderson plays it back down. The extra skaters on for the U.S. Here's Hughes with it. Hughes to Sanderson. Jake Sanderson. Back for Hayes. Hayes feeds it back across. That's cued wide by Gaudreau. And with 1:17 to go, Sedlak touches up. And the United States is going back to the power play.
Well, you wanted to know what it was going to take. Was the guy getting beat to the front of the net and tackling someone to take a chance away. Ruta gets behind Brady Tkachuk. He rolls off him. And then stick right across the forearms, parallel to the ice to pick up the penalty. That's working off the wall, away from the puck, and Brady Tkachuk so strong he still gets a piece. But he gets Ruta in a vulnerable spot and forces the hooking penalty. So the power play, which was not great their first time through, it's a second chance in the second period.
Rulik and the Czech players all have these team-provided suits that came with gold capes. Gudas wears his every day. No surprise there.
Like hoodies.
You give Gudas a cape, he'll wear it.
Of course he will.
Tkachuk for the face-off. It's scrambled back by Zacha. Now Caulfield trying to dig it free. Tkachuk plays it back around to Caulfield. Boldy has the puck at his feet. And Boldy banks it back to Gaudreau as the U.S. gets set up. Gaudreau for Boldy. Matt Boldy. Back to Werenski, inside a minute to go in the period. Here's Boldy. Feeds that down to Tkachuk, centers it, and that shot flutters from Caulfield into the glove of Dostal.
Czechia clearly has done some pre-scouting on this power play because Pavel Zacha is playing so low because he's worried about Cole Caulfield. Watches his guy, he steps right in there. Hayek in front, slides back door to Gaudreau. Zacha's responsibility is a slot man, and it worked out exactly how the defenders drew it up.
Face-off control by the U.S. Here's Boldy back on it. With Tkachuk parked right in front. Boldy shoots. That's tipped wide by Tkachuk. Gaudreau back with it. Hops it back to Caulfield to Werenski. Werenski feeds it back across for Boldy. Fires, and Dostal got a piece of that. Tkachuk with it. Back to Boldy. Centers for Caulfield. Back to Boldy. Down for Tkachuk. Dostal broke that up. Another chance for Caulfield. Dostal's down. And he quickly grabs the loose puck.
Some close chances in tight. Tkachuk and Caulfield. A little two-man game around the front of the net. Boldy throwing pucks into the traffic area. Brady trying to go through his feet. If not, Cole Caulfield right there as well. And heavy work in front of the net. Gudas and Hayek trying to control bodies and sticks. So hard to do.
Sent down the ice by Krejcik. Off the face-off win by Sedlak. Werenski, as time winds down to the period. To Caulfield, back for Gaudreau to Kachuk. Feeds it back to Werenski. That pass broken up by Sedlak. He'll send it out. And the United States will have 43 seconds of power play time to begin the third period, but the Czechs get the lone goal from Pavel Zacha. A 1-0 lead through 2 periods on Team USA.
Těšíme se na třetí odpočíte si, užijte si přestávku program Nikolása a jak mysleli kvíz a hraďte se čas. A to nemusíte ani nejvyšší. Well, thank you so much for holding 3 periods. You are the best fans in the world. Intermission will be already quiz.
Dobře.
And it's up to you to decide who leads to the fan of the game. Okay, these are your two options. Who is fan of the game?
2 minutes penalty for tripping at 26-23. Just about the chest, about the thing.
Second one. Good luck, go! Outside! Yes. Yeah. If we keep having this shit after every stoppage, these small scrums, then we have to take one, okay? So please stop. Yeah, okay, hey, right.
2-minute penalty for tripping at 26-23. Čas 26-23. Tripping at 26-23. Čas 26-23. Penalty for tripping at 26-23. Čas 26-23. Tripping at 26-23. Čas 26-23.
Jdeme na druhou otázku a ta zní, kdo byl nejprotivnějším českým hráčem v základní skupině A na letošním mistrovství světa. Vidíte pochopitelně fotografie, nemá smysl doplňovat jména, ta jsou všem úplně jasná a vidím tam uprostřed i ikonu národního týmu, která je 208. zápas a právě ta ikona byla nejprotivnější. Roman Červenka a téměř 91% správných odpovědí. Jdeme k závěrečnému úkolu. Jakým výsledkem skončil zápas mezi Českem a Spojenými státy, který se hrál 3. května na mistrovství světa ve Vídni? Bylo to semifinále, 6-1 pro Spojené státy, 5-0 pro Česko, 3-2 pro Česko a 2-1 pro Spojené státy. Tehdy ve Vídni v roce 1996 kanadská Blue Line rozhodla o tom, že Česko postoupilo do finále, kde následně porazilo 4-2 tým Kanady a v samostatné existenci získal svůj první titul mistrů světa IIHF. Tolik kvíz čekáme na vítěze, který si bude moci vyzvednout cenu a vítěze již známe a toto je jeho přezdívka. Kovik Michal. Cítíte-li se, anebo jste-li Kovik Michalem, nezbývá nic jiného, než se vydat za sektor 101, kde na informacích na vás již čeká cena, která bude připomínat letošní mistrovství světa IIHF v hokeji. Gratuluji Kovik Michalovi a my se postupně přesuneme do Ostravy. Tam mezi sebou bojují dva skandinávské týmy, konkrétně Švédska a Finska. Švédsko na straně přestřídalo zeměpisící jezer 24-8, ale zatím nepadla vláda v Ostravě, takže šance jsou důležité pro oba dva soupeře. Teď se podíváme, když na to, jak se hraje ve třetí ceně, this is live picture from Ostrava Arena. This is the third period of the quarterfinal between Sweden and Finland. Sweden on the swing of five shots. There is still no goal. We will follow this game for sure now. Back to Prague Arena. What a battle between USA and Team Czechia. We've seen one goal scored by so Team Czechia is in the lead. It isn't only the goal scored by Papa that was interesting in the second period. So these are the highlights.
It's been a battle between the goaltenders. Charlie Lindgren 1 goal against on 20 shots. It was a power play goal by Pavel Zacha that bounced off his ribs and in. And at the other end, Lukas Dostal, the 23-year-old goaltender for the Anaheim Ducks, has stopped all 26 shots he has faced. So a 1-0 game here. Jan Ruda has 43 seconds to serve on his late second period penalty. Michael Campbell gets us underway. And here is Zach Werenski with it. Over 16 minutes played in the first two periods, more than any skater on either team. And Radim Rulik likes to roll through his lines, knowing more than 14 minutes for the Czechs through two.
That's impressive. In a game this tight, where you're worried about matchups, no one playing that much more than anybody else.
The Pastrnak line has played more, but not significantly. Boldy winds his way in. And Boldy plays it back around for Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau, the all-time leading point getter for the U.S., plays it back to Tkachuk. And Dostal makes the save on that. Boldy back with it. Fires Dostal. Pad save. Boldy a chance. That was blocked. Played back across. Gaudreau holds. And Gudas sprawled in front of him as Ruda steps back on the ice. Gaudreau feeds it back. Caulfield is shot. Dostal a pad save. And 3 good chances for Team USA in the opening minute here of the third period. And Ruda picks it back out. Lays that back ahead. Baranek goes after it as the Czechs are changing. Now picked out by Werenski. You'll see him a lot here in the third period. The third period starts in Ostrava. No score between Sweden and Finland. The 7-0 Swedes. Against Finland, was just got into the medal round. In comes Jones. Shoots. It goes off the stick of Kempny. It took a win by Great Britain over Austria to pave the way for Finland to get in.
The U.S. come up with a flurry of chances in tight. Desperation, defending, blocking shots. Johnny Gaudreau nowhere to go with that. It looked like a good chance, but he had no lanes to get it to the net. Krejcik, brilliant job going all the way down to sprawl and block. Matt Boldy.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Long way to go here, though. The face-off not done fairly.
Well, that's just it. There's so much talent on the ice for the Americans. Do you think you can defend for 20 straight minutes? Czechia has to keep playing in the offensive zone and playing 5-on-5.
Face-off won by Sedlak. Kempny on it. Now picked up by Asimo. Wraparound try. Dostal got the pad down. He tried the other side. That's turned away as well. The Dratek was taken down. And the puck loose in the corner. Picked up by Nelson. Brock Nelson feeds that back. Long shot by Vlasic. Goes wide. Cervenik races to it and chops that back ahead. Knocked away from Kasha by Vlasic. Tomaszek, the leading goal scorer in the Swedish Hockey League this year, knocks that back for Kempny. Kempny gains center ice and flips that down. Now Sanderson bats it around. Tomaszek feeds that back. It's held by Zegras, and Zegras winds out. Ayak has that pass knocked down by Hayes, held the line by Hughes. Away from a diving Baranek. Sanderson shoots. That's blocked by Stransky off the side of the goal. The shot was knocked away by Sanderson. And now Zegras loose behind the goal. Zegras walks on a backhand shot, stopped by Dostal, his Anaheim teammate. And it's batted out by Baranek. I wonder if Zegras thought about the Michigan behind the goal.
Seems like they're trying to go up by Dostal's ears, like the bank shot. There's been 3 or 4 attempts by the Americans.
Boldy hustling back as Pastrnak stepped into him. Now brought back out by Jones. Seth Jones for Gaudreau. Feeds it back across to Nelson. Nelson throws that back. Pastrnak got a stick on that. Now Pastrnak back the other way. Pass broken up by Nelson. Knocked down by Boldy. Zacha plays it back. That looked offside, but play continues, and now spot check. Up for Pasternak, feeds that back down, picked off by Werenski. Lead pass for Boldy. And Matt Boldy shoots, that goes way wide. On the line, Werenski, but the puck came out. The play's called offside.
Mentioned Zach Werenski up over 16 minutes through 2 periods as they've been running the Werenski-Jones pairing all the time. This game has brought out all the dignitaries.
Yeah. President of Czechia was here last week at some of the games. And here's Jones. Battles that back down to the Czech zone. Gudas flips it back out. Seth Jones. Up ahead for Pinto. Jones, one of a handful of Americans who could become the first Americans to win gold in the under-18s, the World Junior and the World Championship. The under-18 tournament began in 1999. Cam sends it on goal. Lindgren swatted that away as Nate just missed on it. Kachuk bats out ahead. Cervenka knocks it down for Krejcik, who's been really good for the Czechs in this tournament. In comes Cervenka. Pivots back in the corner. Cervenka banks that back to Krejcik. Back across to Ruta with a shot. Lindgren pad save. Hayes cleared the rebound. Ruta poking it back ahead for Sedlak. He's poke checked there by Petrie. And brought back out by Farabee. Lead pass to Hayes. Hayes shoots and Postal through the traffic, knocked that away. Sedlak back with it. Kasha chops it back down to U.S. zone. Lead pass to Farabee. Joel Farabee banks that down as Hayek goes back for it, brings it around for Stransky. Stransky throws it ahead for Baranek. Knocked away by Cunnin. Petrie fires it back down to the Czech zone. Here's Cunnin back on it. Cunnin, Bracemo. Loose behind the Czech goalie, flips that back to Hughes. Luke Hughes goes back across. Sanderson waits and shoots, and that was blocked by a diving Tomaszek. Asimov back with it. In the corner for Sanderson and deep. That's knocked away by Tomaszek. The puck loose at the side of the goal. And Tomaszek has it back. Stransky kicks it ahead, but back in the line. It's held by Sanderson. Shoots. That goes just wide. Cutting back on it. Throws it back in front. Kachuk was taken down. And now Hughes holds the line. Good pressure by Team USA. Kachuk back on it. But Kondratek has it back. The stick of Dostal was in the midsection of Kachuk. And now Hughes back with it. 6 gone here in the third. U.S. changing. Hughes. Quick pass ahead to Boldy jumping off the bench for Nelson. Nelson poke check there by Pasternak. Now spot check defending on Werenski. Boldy throws that back to Nelson. The pass skipped away from him. Back down to Boldy. To Werenski, shoots, that's blocked by Spacek. Palat racing to it, but it's knocked away by Jones. And Werenski up to Boldy. The clock melting down here in the third period. Almost literally, it's warm in here. Zonka back to Spacek. Kempney, up into Pasternak. Pasternak for Kubalik, couldn't get a shot away. Dominic Kubalik spins back in the corner, crisscrossing with Kemp. Out there along with Pasternak. Now here's Kempney. Shovels it back in deep to Pasternak, who's behind the goal. He centered it. That was knocked away from Kubalik by Nelson. Pasternak throws it towards the goal. Seth Jones kicks that away. Boldy's back with it. Czechs are changing. Lead pass for Gaudreau. In comes Johnny Gaudreau. Holds. Shoots. That was blocked by Krejcik. Now Pinto back with it. Back around he goes to Gaudreau. Couldn't chop that down. Vlasic steps up. Gaudreau being watched there by Kempney, pulls it free for Kubalik, who lifts that back out to the American line. Farabee missed Pinto with that pass, icing called against the United States.
And you said it, tick, tick, 7.5 gone already in the third period. Most of it played down in Czechia's end. And you get a sense of how hard Hayek hooking in. Kachuk, Dostal getting his stick tangled up in there as well. It is no holds barred down in front of the net right now, trying to defend.
headlock for the face-off against Pinto. Played back around to Vlasic. Alex Vlasic banks out ahead for Caulfield, who chips it down in the Czech zone. The Americans can start a change. Hayek up the center ice, chipped ahead by Cervenka. Lindgren out to play it. Knocks that away from Kasha. Tkachuk to Caulfield, looking for Pinto. That's knocked out by Hayek. Kasha back with it. Kasha tries to knock that free, knocked down by Cervenka. To the point he goes to Spacek for Gudas, but the pass drew him out. Spacek stick broke on the play. Now Tkachuk with a chance with Pinto. Tkachuk shoots up the down, knocks that high off the glass. It skips into the meshing and out of play. 11:44 to go here. In the third period, the Czechs lead the U.S. 1-0.
You can slow down for a while, because it's time for your sweet kisses. Time for lovely Prague.
.44 to go here. In the earlier games, Canada beat Slovakia 6-3. The Swiss beat the Germans 3-1. Those were offensive bonanzas compared to this.
Still 0-0 for Sweden and Finland.
Sweden have 3 power plays in that game. Luke Hughes centers it, rolling puck knocked down by Kempny. Up ahead for Stransky for Baranek, that skipped away from him. And they'll call that icing. Baranski going to touch the puck. Baranek rather, on the feed from Stransky. Face off back down to the Czech zone.
Feels like a pretty believable excuse that I didn't hear the whistle. With all the sound in this building, and as much as the fans like to whistle whenever they are voicing their displeasure,
right?
It'd be easy to say, I can't hear it. You got to make sure I do. Right, I finished the check a little bit after the whistle.
Now Pinto for the face-off against Tomaszek. Won by Tomaszek. Gloved down by Hughes. Tomaszek was almost off to the races there. Pinto back on it though. Shane Pinto spins back in the corner. Banks that back for Hughes. Kempny was spilled in front. Gudas plays it back around to Stransky, who chops at the center ice. Hughes back with it. Up ahead for Cole Caulfield. And Gudas plays it around. Pasternak flips that to center, knocked back in by Sanderson. It goes off a leg, back to Hughes in the USO. Luke Hughes. Up ahead for Seth Jones. Zaka stepped into him. Kempny back with it, has a quick look. Chips that in for Zaka. Up the ladder he goes for Palat with Pasternak. Palat moves in for Pasternak. Shoots! That's gloved by Lindgren. He'll hang on with 10:37 to go here in the third.
Style, who has grown into the starter for Czechia, even though his 2 partners are the more experienced Peter Mrazek, Karel Vejmelka, has shown exactly why he gets the call, as he has been really good. There's been a lot of traffic in around him, and able to track the puck but stay under control while fighting through all the bodies in front has been very impressive.
Zaka for the face-off. And off the draw, quick chance for Palat. Lindgren made the save as Zaka won that cleanly from Nelson.
This is the problem. You put Werenski behind the face-off circle. Jones is stepping forward onto Pasternak. So who's got Palat diving through? Nobody. He gets a quick little chance in on Kyle Lindgren. Got away from that 2 defensemen on the inside now.
Zaka again against Nelson. This time controlled by the U.S. Here's Werenski work. Lobs that back down. Spacek knocks it down for Kondratek. Skips by Werenski as the Czechs begin to change. Pasternak plays it in for Kubalik with Zaka. Dominik Kubalik with it. Has a look back. Throws it back in the corner for Zaka. That's knocked away by Werenski. Gaudreau had lost his stick. And now Werenski plays it back around for Jones. Chipped ahead by Boldy. Nelson skated by the puck. Gaudreau's got to wait for him to get back onside. Gaudreau winds it in for Boldy. It bounced off his skate. Chipped it back in front. Picked off by Spacek. Spacek across to Krejcik. The lead pass to Camp. In comes Nietzsche with a head of steam. At the line, it's flipped across, but Krejcik has to retreat. And the Czechs tag back up. Past the midway point of the third period. Ruta chips that back ahead. The only goal of the game scored in the second period, the power play by Pavel Zaka. Had the puck in his ribs and bounced into the net. Sedlak tries to dig it free. Zegras moves it across to Vlasic. Chip back in by Farabee. Back was Krejcik for it. Cervenka chips it down, but it's kept alive by Hayes. Zegras sandwiched there by Krejcik and Kasha. And the U.S. will make a change. Long lead pass for Cervenka. In with Sedlak. Cervenka shoots, and Lindgren to stop on that. And away comes Luke Hughes. Flips that back ahead for Gavin Brindley. Back down to the Czech zone as Hayek goes after it. Rings it back around. Squirted by cutting it back down the ice. Icing called against the Czechs.
So the way Czech is defending right now, the Americans are not going to get a rush chance in the third period. They are having layers and layers of bodies back. So you're going to have to get it done off the forecheck, or off an icing, or off a penalty. And it's just so hard to break the Czechs down physically, to shed their checkers around the net.
Now the medal round is here. 10-minute overtime, 3-on-3. Sanderson with it until the gold medal game, and it's unlimited OT. Now play back. Asimon shoots at the Stella. Good stop there by Mikey Asimon. 1-0. The Czechs continue to lead.
Dnešní zápas mezi Spojenými státy a Českem vás zde v Pražské aréně sleduje 17 413. A myslím si, že nezbývá než vám poděkovat za výjimečnou podporu. Překonali jsme hranici 700 000 fanek a fanoušků v Praze a Podstavě. A úspěch tohoto mistrovství je dínotéž výjimečných osobností ve žlutých trikotech. Jsou to naši dobrovolníci. A dnešní dobrovolníci dne je tato sympatická dáma Eva Senová. Děkujeme ti, Evo, ale děkujeme vám všem dobrovolníkům za to, že děláte z mistrovství světa IIHF nezapomenutelnou událost. We'd like to thank all the volunteers. Without you, this event wouldn't be possible. Thank you so much.
Face off in the Czech zone. And through two periods, Czechs have had a slight edge on draws. It'll be Nelson against Camp. Off the draw, chopped back out by Nietzsche's. Played this tournament less than 40 hours after his Carolina Hurricanes were knocked out. Spacek up for Nietzsche's, chips that for Camp. Up with Kubalik. David Camp works in. Pivots back in the corner. Now picked up by Kubalik. He was poke checked by Boldy. Inside 8 to go in the third. Hughes trying to take that free. It's grabbed by Jake Sanderson. Back across to Hughes. Out to center ice, chipped down by Boldy. Spot check goes back along with Kempney. And Kempney being harassed there by Gaudreau. Reverses it. Racing to it is Jones to keep it alive for the U.S. Throws that to the side of the goal. Jones back on it. Kubalik fell. Jones plays it back. Stransky intercepted and begged it back to center ice. Werenski back with it. Snaps that pass ahead for Farabee. He's tied up by Gudis. Radko Gudis. Lost the puck to Farabee. Quick chance for Cutter, turned away by Dostal. Here's Farabee back with it. And Gudis gives him a bump. The puck frozen along the boards. Simone trying to dig that free. And sent down the ice by Andre Baranek. Icing called once again against the Czechs, who are rolling the dice with so many defensive zone faceoffs.
And they're battling hard on the boards. If they don't know what to do with it, they just shoot it around hard, and icing or not, they're just trying to get it over the blue line. And I was like, if you're the Americans, let's draw something up on the face-off. We got a tired group, let's work on something if we can get a win.
This is Pinto against Tomaszek. And Tomaszek wins another to Hayek. Here's Baranek at center ice. Bats that ahead, he's got Stransky with him. Baranek trying to roll that back in front. Jones stayed with him. Stransky spins that back in the corner for Zacha. And Jones has it back. Lead pass to Caulfield. Oh, Caulfield up for Pinto, winding in. Shane Pinto shoots. That goes way wide. Picked up by Kachuk. He fires up the side of the goal. And Zacha lifts it out to center ice. Pasternak waiting for it. He's got Palat with him. Pasternak drops it off to Palat. Sends it back across. Pasternak, a shot that was blocked by Werenski. Pasternak back with it. Fanned on it. Kachuk's got it back for the U.S. Chips it back across for Pinto. 6 to go here in the third period. Caulfield back on it for Kachuk. Caulfield shoots right on for the corner, and Dostal to be careful with that. Petrie down to Caulfield. Caulfield taken down. Now Palat plays it up ahead for Pasternak, but it's knocked down by Vlasic to center ice for Pinto. And Kondratek gathers it back up to Pasternak. Pasternak fires that back down to the American zone. As Cherbenka goes after it, picked up by Sedlak, bumps that back. Kondratek, a shot! And Charlie Lindgren the save on that. Hayes onside, holds it, plays it back in for the U.S. Zegras after it. Bumped there by Kempney. Back around to Kondratek. Kondratek lifts it ahead. Kasha chops at it. Picked up by Sedlak, moving in. He fanned on the shot. Czechs are changing as Sedlak buys some time. Luke Hughes being harassed there by Natchez, feeds it ahead for Hayes. In comes Hayes, back across for Zegras with a chance. Dostal is down, but the whistle had sounded, no goal.
Farabee crashing in the net. And even if Zegras saying he was pushing, it won't matter. The whistle clearly went before the goal was shot.
4:53 to go here in the third.
Wow, tak to bude velice napínavých 5 minut, tak si to trošku rozdědíme a zahrajeme si kámoši chlapi. Toto je Elizabeta, toto je Martin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Elizabeth from Slovakia. She's cheering for the United States. Okay, first round, and we play on 3 cards. Tak pojďme na to. Kámen, nůžky, papír. Tak, Martin vede 0, druhé kolo. Kámen, nůžky, papír. 2-0. Kámen, nůžky, papír. 2-1. Kámen, nůžky, papír. Kámen, nůžky, papír. Kámen, nůžky, papír. Kámen, nůžky, papír. A je to tady. Martin je vítěz. Nejmi 5. A pojď za mnou. A teď si kamarády vyber. Wow, to je gentleman. A teď si tady na kosce vyber A, nebo respektive A až F. E jako F-šak. Tak je co tam máš? Krásná kšeltovka, Martin, you are the best.
So discussion about that last play where Zegras was tangled with Dostal and insisting he was pushed in. Well, the whistle clearly went.
Farabee was cutting. He bumped into Hayek, lost his footing. I don't know. he wouldn't have crashed in there if it were not for Hayek, but the whistle went. I don't think you can reverse this on any, no matter what the situation. Don't lose your beer. This will not count, and the faceoff probably comes outside, as it was Farabee into the net.
The U.S. has had at least 30 shots in every game. Came as the highest scoring team in the tournament. Rasmus Dahlin has scored for Sweden with under 5 to go in the third period. 1-0 the Swedes lead the Finns. Pinto against Camp. The offside face-off dot. Not done fairly. Another one-goal game for the Czechs. Off the draw, Pinto and Camp are tangling. Caulfield's tied up by Kubalik, picked up by Camp. He's got Natchez with him as Camp sends it in, but it's picked up by Hughes. And Luke Hughes sprints ahead for the U.S. Lead pass for Caulfield. Krejcik goes back. Back around. Spacek lost the puck. He could chuck through it back in front. Spacek up for Kubalik. Chops that down. Natchez going after Hughes. Now picked up by Sanderson. Rink wide pass to Caulfield. Top line goes to work for Team USA. Dostal can't knock it down. Here's Gudas on it. Rolling puck. Gudas picks it back up. And Gudas flips it back to center ice. Glove down there by Jones with Palat all over him. Zacha picks off that pass and winds in. Zacha drops it back. Palat with a shot. Lindgren the save. Enough to hang on with 4:02 to go in the third.
Palat, the veteran, understanding, I'm not going to force a play on a pass because I got Zacha driving wide, Pasta driving the net. If this turns over, we're in trouble. So even though he's a little bit far out, he puts a puck in on net, making sure to get a whistle. Lindgren, who's been really sharp in this game as well, makes the easy save. And if you're the Czechs, know that the defense for the United States are jumping every single time. Can't get beat back up the ice by the American defenders as a quick little...
An issue with the Czech net, they can't get it back on its peg.
The peg was dislodged on the Farabee crash, and they're hanging a little high right now.
So the ice crew will be called out. 4:02 to go here. Bulb and Bullbeck working their magic here. And there's an icon of his own, Nick Lidstrom, the Hall of Famer, now senior advisor to the Vice President and General Manager Steve Eisman in Detroit. The Armored Yoggers here.
They both look like they could still play.
But what is?
One does. But to see Nick, who's been retired for a while now.
I swear, at the very least, he can play in the power play in the NHL.
It's great catching up with him. He's in town just for the final knockout stages. And to experience this. This is the best net peg fixing I've ever had.
A lot of pressure. All right, so 4:02 to go. The face-off in the U.S. zone. Zacha, Pasternak, Palat, the forward line for the Czechs. Zacha for the face-off against Brock Nelson. Scramble puck, kicked back by Zacha, but now it's picked up by Gaudreau. Flips it high in the air, looking for Boldy, and Kempny gloved that down. Zacha back with it. Pivots back, finds Palat, kicks at the center ice for Pasternak, who chops it down to the American zone. In goes David Pasternak. Works it free, walks right out and shoots. Lindgren the save, pokes away the rebound. That's center ice, glove down again by Kempny. He finds Palat, tried to throw that rink wide and shipped ahead by Werenski to Gaudreau. Up for Nelson. Brock Nelson shoots, that goes wide. Boldy leaves it back for Jones with a drive, that deflected wide. And now Ruta to Pasternak, who just lobs that down in the American zone, but Seth Jones won't be able to milk that into an icing call. And Jones drops it back to Hughes. Up ahead for Pinto. Bouncing puck behind the goal. Gudas picks it up, lobs that ahead. And now back goes Sanderson. That'll be icing on the Czechs with 3:01 to go in the third. And the Finns have just tied it.
Oh my goodness.
Hannes Bjorninen with 58 seconds left and the goaltender out.
Those teams do not disappoint. As Pasternak, the rare forward in the offensive zone, but it's mostly been defense here.
Off the draw, Sanderson a shot, and Dostal makes the glove save.
But even on the lost draws, the commitment of the Czechs to box out and tie up has been impressive. John Hines is trying to find a way.
Okay, Brady Tkachuk on the left-hand face-off circle against Kemp. Kemp's used to this in the NHL, taking a lot of defensive zone face-offs. Scrambles that one for Natchez. Moving in on Sanderson. Natchez slides it back across. Dominic Kubalik in, shoots at the goalpost. Off the outside of the post goes Kubalik. 2:45 to go in the third. Camp pokes it free. Looks back to Krejcik, a shot. In the skate of Sanderson, looks ahead for Tkachuk with Pinto. And Tkachuk shovels that ahead. Krejcik tied up in the corner, kicks it free for Natchez. And Natchez can't get that by Sanderson. Throws it towards the goal, it floats wide. Tkachuk back on it. Now pick free. Camp back around for Hayek. And Krejcik, the Czech defenseman, is injured. And down in the corner.
Puck went to the bench, so the faceoff will go back into Czech zone. But Dominic Kubalik almost gave the insurance goal. Good speed by Natchez, as we've seen all game long. Kubalik flying wide. Oh, off the cuff of the glove, and maybe glances outside of the post as well. Kubalik's offense has been picking up as the tournament's gone along. That would have been the one.
Now it's Nelson for the draw against Zacha. Such a difference for the Czechs now with Zacha, Kamp, Sedlak, and Tomaszek. Three veteran centermen. Face-off not done fairly. You had Pasternak and Natchez on the wings. John Hines marking out directions on the U.S. bench. We've seen lots of late goals in this tournament. Poke free, Pasternak rattles it off the glass. Werenski gloves it down. Cross he goes to Jones. Fires that back down to the Czech zone. Ruta goes back. Pasternak trying to leave it there for Zacha. Poked ahead by Werenski. Kempny kicks it free. Pasternak lost the puck. Zacha works it free. Inside, 2 to go in the third. Zacha feeds it ahead to Kempny. Puck skipped on him, and Kempny sends it back down to the American zone. We'll keep an eye on Lindgren looking to the bench for directions. Away comes Werenski. Lindgren's inching his way out of the net. Here he comes. The extra skater comes on for the U.S. It's Tkachuk. Long shot, tipped just wide on Dostal. Loose at the side of the goal. Cervenka's got it, banks it ahead, trying to find Sedlak. And Werenski took that away from him. Werenski rings it back around. For Gaudreau, 6-on-5 for the U.S. Gaudreau winding in. Kasha took that away. Long shot, Dostal the save. Krejcik can't clear it out. Werenski a shot that floats wide. Nelson lost the puck to Gudas, held by Werenski. Gaudreau chops it back around to Boulding. Here's Nelson, back to Boulding. Tied up by Sedlak. Final minute now of the third period. Nelson back to Werenski, shoots, and that deflected in front of Dostal. Sedlak got the puck to Krejcik, glove down at center ice by Werenski. Looks ahead to Caulfield. Away comes Caulfield, drops it off to Boulding. Back for Caulfield. Cole Caulfield back in front. Knocked away by Sedlak. Gaudreau on it. In the corner. Gudas gets to it. Flips out ahead to Sedlak. He banks it back out to center. Boulding. Lost the puck to Cervenka. Natchez reaching for it. Cervenka's got it. Feeds it back for Natchez. It's turned over. And Boulding comes back the other way. Boulding shoots. Dostal the save. And now Natchez with it. Sends it down the ice. Off the goalpost. And away comes Caulfield, 10 seconds to go in the third. Sent back down to the Czech zone. An icing called against the United States with 7 seconds left. And Czechia is that far away from moving on to the semifinals.
Just incredible defending, desperation defending. And now 7 seconds offensive zone face-off, Lindgren back in. Just watch the Flyers racing down for the Americans. Beat the puck forward, and this crowd will go home very happy.
Seven seconds to go. The United States came in with 4 straight wins. The highest scoring team in the tournament. And this Czech throng will be back on Saturday and Sunday for medal round games as the Czechs beat the United States 1-0. The Czechs are on to the semis on Saturday, and the United States is done. It's been a wild quarterfinal day, and the host team is still in it.
The best players of each team will be awarded with a watch by TISO, official timekeeper of the 2024 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The prizes will be presented by the President of Czech Ice Hockey Association, Ales Adamczyk, and the Vice President of International Ice Hockey Federation, Mr. Ivan Omalkanov. Best player of Team United States, number 79, Charlie Lindgren. Best player of Team Czechia, number 1, Lukáš Dostal! The 3 best players of the 2024 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship of Team USA will now be awarded with a prize from the organizing committee. The 3 best players award is selected by each team and will be presented by the representative for the organizing committee of IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship, Miss Aneta Velíšková. The 3 best players of Team USA are number 7, Brady Tkachuk. Number 12, Matt Boldy. And number 8, Zach Berensky. Dear all, please rise if you're able to for the national anthem of winning team. Dámy a pánové, zas hymna vítězného týmu, tedy hymna Česka! Česko si zahraje v sobotu i v neděli. Doufejme, že ten první zápas bude pouze v sobotu. Čeká nás semifinále. Vzhledem k probíhajícímu prodloužení v Ostravě není jisté, s kým se Česko utká. Ale rozhodně doražte v sobotu a znovu vytvořte tu nejlepší atmosféru. Zažíváme historické mistrovství a to i díky vám, těm nejlepším faninkám a fanouškům. Užijte si pouzlivý čtvrteční večer a oslavte náš tým, reprezentaci Česka!
stings.
Yeah, it sucks. Came here to win gold, and yeah, it's definitely it's tough to react right now. It's too fresh, and yeah, it's really disappointing.
USA was the top scoring team at the tournament entering today's game. What do you think it was about Czechia that made them so difficult to crack through?
They just had numbers ahead of you. There's always 3 or 4 guys in front, and yeah, they played a great game tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't get the result. Worked hard over this last couple weeks, and yeah, this one's going to be a tough pill to swallow.
It's hard to hear you right now. You can hear the home crowd. Did that play a factor in the game?
I mean, these are memories that a lot of guys are going to have forever for, all these local guys. So, you know what, it's been good crowds all tournament, but at the end of the day, we just have to find a way.
I know how much pride you take in being the captain of this team. What are you saying to the guys in the locker room after a really tough loss?
I mean, it's all of our first times playing together, and there's a lot of highs and lows that we've had over the last couple weeks, and yeah, we just really wish that we could celebrate together at the end with the gold medal, but that's just not the case, and it's it's pretty tough right now.
Thank you, Brady.
Thank you.
Lucas, you had the 36 save shutout, and after this game, your entire team came over and clobbered you. What's going through your mind in that moment?
Well, we did it. We make it through the quarterfinals, and it's a first step, and now we gotta keep going.
Pavel Zacha with a really big goal tonight. He comes over right after Boston is eliminated from the playoffs and join your team. Talk about the impact he's had right away.
Yeah, both of the guys from the Boston, same with Martin Etchus, right? Like, they come over and they try to help us as much as they can. They're obviously jet lagged, but they have no excuses, and they try to help us as much as they can. And Pavel scored a big goal for us, and great win.
I know you've won a bronze with Czechia before, the 2022 World Championship. You're now competing for a medal on home ice. What does that mean to you?
It's unreal, look at the fans, they're absolutely crazy, they're absolutely buzzing, and we are just so happy to play in front of them, and they've been supporting us throughout the tournament, and they show up tonight again, and they're just great.
Ahead of tonight, USA was the top scoring team at this tournament. You backstop your team to the win. Describe how the home crowd helped you this evening.
Tak fanoušci byli neskuteční, já bych jim chtěl moc poděkovat, protože tu energii, kterou na nás přenášeli po celý zápas, tak nám moc pomohlo, a jak si říkala, tak oni dali nejvíc gólů, a my jsme to brali jako obrovský challenge dneska, a jsem rád, že to vyšlo.
Congratulations, Lucas.
Yeah, thank you.
facility, please be aware of serious injury from pucks and other objects being propelled into the spectator area. Be alert at all times, even during warm-up and